Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I've been super busy with my senior year and I'm just like going kind of nuts and crazy because I have so much on my plate and I had to just take YouTube off of it. So I'm happy that I finally have some free time to get some videos up. I have a lot of great videos that I thought of that I really, I'm excited to hopefully film and share that with you guys. But this video I'm really excited to get up, and I told myself, like, no matter what, I have to put this on YouTube. I have to get it out there because I really want to review this palette. So as you can tell from the title, I'm going to be doing a review and a little demo of the new Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson Holiday Collection Conspiracy palette. So for the collection, I only got the big conspiracy palette. Ugh. And I didn't get anything else. I thought all his stuff was really cute, but like, I'm gonna be honest, like I just don't have all that kind of money to spend on that kind of stuff. So for me, I was just mostly interested in getting the big size palette. It just, the colors in there called more to me than getting like the mini one. So I'm just gonna be reviewing the big one. So without any further ado, let's get on with the review and demo. So here is the palette. It is very conspiracy. And if you guys don't know anything about Shane Dawson, he is a very famous YouTuber here who makes a lot of videos about conspiracy theories. That's something he's really into. So he decided to bring that kind of passion out into the palette that he created with Jeffree Star Cosmetics. So I think this is really, really cool. Definitely I haven't seen anything spiral like this from the makeup community. So I think this is really cool that how unique it is, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So yeah, so that's just the packaging, and then on the back of the sleeve I have a list of ingredients right here so you guys can read up about what exactly is in their products. Jeffree Star Cosmetics is a vegan and cruelty line, just to put that out there. So which is really awesome, and I actually learned in his other video like what kind of ingredients were what. So he, like, I think Carmine's, he said, is like crushed beetle, and so like now after knowing that, I feel like I only want to wear vegan because I'm going to think about putting crushed beetle ingredients on my eyes and skin. So this is vegan, so you don't have to worry about that. So this is the sleeve, and then we pop it open, and then inside is the conspiracy palette. So this is such a cool palette. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I did a little unboxing of this on my Instagram story. Make sure you guys follow me. It's going to be down below in the description box. I think this palette is awesome. Andrew filmed Shane's videos, and he actually created this at like 2 a.m. on Photoshop, and so they went with this design, and I think it's so cool because as you can see, it's a 3D design. It's not flat like every other palette is on the market, so it's very unique. And again, it has that spiral design, and then it says conspiracy, and then in the middle right there it has his logo that he created right there. And it has very, very tiny up there, it has the Jeffree Star, his icon that he uses. On the side of the palette, how you open it, it kind of reminds me of a coffin a little bit. It has these little hooks right here. So you unhook it to open up the palette, which is really awesome. It kind of makes it like a treasure box in my opinion. So it kind of makes the palette feel a little bit more special than just a normal palette. So let's open this bad boy up. And there the palette is. So this is the palette. It comes with a very big size mirror, which is awesome. I will say it's not too heavy, but definitely like I don't really see myself actually holding this the entire time I'm doing my eyes because I feel like it will get heavy after holding it for a while. So that's pretty much the only downside, but it's nice to have a mirror just to, you know, look at yourself if you're on the go with this palette. I think this palette is super fun, and what I really like about this palette, just right off the bat from looking at it, I really like that this top row, it has all these neutrals. So you have your wearable everyday neutrals, that are, you know, you can make a dark smoky eye from it. You could do something light and everyday. And they have colors that work with more lighter skin tones. Like me, well, I tanned last night, so I can do the darker ones, but for me, when I'm very like pale and not have a tan on, these kind of colors are going to be great for my coloring. So that's great how you can be really pale or really tan and still use this. So this middle row I really like because it's screaming summer vibes at me with all the bright colors in the middle row. So we have this really pretty sage right here that light skin girls can wear. I think this would be a really pretty color on us actually. And then you have like your pinks, bright yellows, and then red and orange. So this is a very, except for the green, it's a very warm tone kind of color story up there. And then at the bottom, this is giving me like Christmas vibes. The coolest thing about this palette, I think, is the names. Shane Dawson made all these names kind of according to him, his life. He definitely personalized it a lot, and he spent a lot of time on picking the names after watching that video. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be swatching the eyeshadows on my arm just so you can see like just a pure pigment, what they're going to look like, how well they swatch, and just like more the true color on a skin tone. So let's get on with the swatches. I'm going to start swatching the first row, that neutrals row, and so the first shade I'm going to swatch into is called Ranch, and this is a really pretty shimmery white color. Very pigmented, as you can tell, and very opaque. The second color I'm going to be dipping into is called My Pills, and this is a really pretty light pink beige color. It's a matte shade as well. That one's also really pigmented. It was also very buttery when I swatched into it, which is always a nice texture for eyeshadows, especially mattes. The next color is Tanacon, and this is a really pretty neutral, kind of warm tone tan color. The next shade we have is Diet Root Beer, and this is just a warm tone neutral warm brown shade. Again, very buttery, very nice consistency. Next we have Just a Theory, and this is a shimmer shade. It's more of a bronze shade, which is really, really pretty, and it just complements these colors really nicely. And last for this row, we have Spiraling. And that one had a lot of kickback when I swatched it, but nevertheless, it's very pigmented. It is a shimmer, and it has a really beautiful consistency. So far, this row for me is an A+. I can tell from swatching that the quality is really nice, just how buttery, smooth, and pigmented the mattes are showing up, and even the shimmers, how they swatch as well. So this is a really, really great row. So now we're going to dip into the second row, and this first shade I'm going to swatch is called Conspiracy. This is that really pretty light sage. The next shade is called Pigment, and this is a matte pink shade. I'm going to give that another swatch. So that one is really pretty. It's creamy, it's matte. It's not as creamy as the more the neutral mattes, but for a color, I know mattes are hard to create, so that was still pretty good. It just wasn't as pigmented as the neutrals. The next one is Food Videos, which is like a neon yellow. So that one is really pretty, and I know yellows are very hard to make, so I am impressed with this shade because, I mean, that it just looks really nice, and I wish you guys can tell in person how neon it looks because the camera isn't picking up super well, but it's pretty bright. This next shade is called Trisha, which I feel like this is the shadow I'm looking forward most to. So this one is like a neon Barbie pink, super hot pink, very bright. As you can see, it has like a blue undertone, so it's more of a cool tone pink. It felt very, the texture of the eyeshadow dipping into it felt kind of rough, so it kind of felt like there was glitter in it, but it isn't very glittery. It just has a very small amount. The next shade is called Cheeto Dust. This is a matte orange. This one needs another swatch. And the last shade of the row I'm swatching is Flaming Hot, and this is a bright matte red. This row is that the colors not the neutrals, but specifically the colors, I think are having a hard time swatching because it's really hard to make colored mattes. They still look like they're swatching well, but not as well as the neutrals. But the best part about the mattes right now that I'm seeing is that there is no, for lack of a better word, the matte shadows aren't crusty. They're pretty smooth still, because a lot of matte shadows I've tried from other brands can be crusty and they just don't swatch well. They're very, like, not smooth. They're just, like, you can just tell that they're just not great, which is not what I'm seeing with this palette, so that's a big thumbs up for me. Okay, last but not least, we have the bottom row. So the first shade on this row is called What Is the Tea? And it is a matte blue. It's kind of like a gray blue, so it's still very pretty, it's very smooth still, and it has really nice color payoff as well. The next shade is called Diet Cola, and this is it's just a pure shimmer silver. Whew, that was a tongue twister. So that one swatched really nice. So yeah, I like that one. Next we have is Not a Fact, and it's just a deep eggplant purple. So that one is very pigmented. I will say, out of all the mattes, that one felt like it had the most texture. It wasn't the most smooth as the other mattes were, but it still has great color payoff, which is great. It just looks a bit more chalkier than the other mattes, just to keep that in mind. The next shade we have is called Sleep Paralysis, and this one is such an interesting shade. It is like a kind of like a light gunmetal with like a hint of gold shimmer. It's still a cool tone, but it still has a little bit of gold shimmer, which I think is a very beautiful color and definitely unique. I have not seen this color in the industry. The next shade we have is called Illuminati, and it is this beautiful, dark, deep emerald green color. Very, very pretty. Last but not least, we have My Ride Is Here, and this is just a true matte black. So that one, very pigmented. None of these shadows really had kickback except for this middle one. It had a little bit when I swatched it, but overall, very beautiful shades. And they still were pretty smooth, for the exception of this one. It was not as smooth as all the other mattes in the palette, but still great quality. Alright, so I have my face makeup on, so now we're going to get started with the eyes. So I put concealer on them, so I'm just going to set them with an eyeshadow from the palette. So I'm going to be taking my Pills with my Real Techniques setting brush to set my entire eyes with that shade. Next, taking a fluffy crease brush, I'm going to be dipping into Tanacon, and I'm going to just throw that in my crease. I'm just going to place this down below to add some definition. So taking a smaller crease brush, I'm going to be dipping into Diet Root Beer. So these two colors work really, really well together from what I can see. And I'm just going to blend that out a little bit, just to see how well these shadows blend together. Blending wise, the shadows look really, really nice and they blend well together. Now I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to be dipping into Just a Theory, and I'm going to pack that on my lid. Applying really pigmented just for not having a tacky base. Okay, so if you don't tap off the excess on that eyeshadow, there will be fallout on your eye, so brush that away. Now I'm going to take Spiraling on a really small a mini crease brush, and I'm just going to kind of smoke that on the outer edge of my eye. And then on that tip of that same brush, I'm just going to add a little bit of that on the outer third of my lower lash line, just to add some slight definition, not too much. Next, I'm going to be taking Ranch, and I'm going to use that flat brush. I'm going to place that underneath my brows. Ooh, that is really, really bright. Okay. Very pigmented. I'm quite impressed with that shade. I'm going to be taking Conspiracy, and I'm just going to pop that on my inner corner. Alright, so now that we have our eyes done, I'm actually going to attempt to use some of the shadows on my face. So the first thing I want to try is I want to use the shade My Pills, that really light pink shade. I actually want to use it underneath my eyes and just to see if it's going to brighten my face. I'm a little scared since it's so light. I don't want to make myself look ashy, but I'm going to try it. So I'm just going to just lightly place it underneath the eyes. Looks like it did brighten up my face a little bit. It doesn't look too ashy, it just looks a bit more pink instead of like a golden color. Actually, that works really nicely. It's actually a really good color to brighten your under eyes. I'm looking at the mirror right now and I don't look ashy. Like, it works well with medium tan skin tones. Alright, the very last thing we're going to do with this palette on our face is I'm going to do a little bit of nose contouring. So I'm going to mix Tanacon and Diet Root Beer. I think it did a pretty good job. I mean, my nose, I don't like to over contour my nose. That's not my style, but I mean, it doesn't look muddy. It doesn't look too orange. It actually looks really nice. Well then, I guess you can call this a face and eye palette, because you could even use some of the colored eyeshadows for blushes. Like this pigment shade would look so pretty as like a blush just on the cheeks right here for a pop of color. If you do a really warm tone eye, I think adding Cheeto Dust, mixing it in with another blush color, a warm tone blush color, I think would just be really, really pretty. And then also Flaming Hot, if you have dark undertones, red blushes actually look amazing on dark undertones. So yes, I think this palette is very versatile for your face as well, which is really awesome because that's kind of like a 2-in-1 deal with this palette. So now that I have my makeup completely finished, I'm going to give you guys my final thoughts and reviews about this Conspiracy palette. In my opinion, I'm not going to take Jeffree's Jeffree approved thing, but I'm going to say it's Andrea approved. I do really like this palette. When the packaging is great, it is bulky, so travel wise may not be the best, but it is, you know, makeup is supposed to be extra nowadays, I feel like. So I think it really just, it sticks out in the beauty community, and I think he did a really awesome job, and it's really on par with what he loves, which was important with making this palette. So I think that he really put his heart and soul into this palette, and you can see that when looking at the palette. Colors wise, I would say the eyeshadows are also really, really great. There's lots of eyeshadows in here. There's neutrals, there's colors, there's your dark colors. They have pretty much everything for everybody and what their taste is when it comes to doing their eyeshadow. You have your neutrals if you want to do a neutral every day. You have your colors if you want to do fun pops of colors. You can do natural eyes. You can do smoky eyes. You can do a full bright drag look with this palette. It's very versatile. I also think that this palette is going to be great for those with pretty much every skin tone. Even if you have dark skin, the colors are so bright that they would look really nice on your eyes, and they would actually, you know, have some color on your eyes instead of maybe looking very muted, if that makes sense. So again, I think eyeshadow quality is also amazing. They're easy to blend, easy to apply. I just think they're really great eyeshadows. They are vegan as well, so that's also another plus because it is hard. Also, what I really like about this palette is that you can use this for the eyes, obviously, and then the face. So if you guys watched the very last part of the video, I used 3 shades on my face, and then I also recommended like 3 more shades you can use on your face. The shade names are really funny. Some of them are kind of weird, but I think overall they're really, really funny. So yeah, I'm going to give this palette a very big thumbs up for me. I think that when it comes back in stock, I believe this is a permanent collection. I think people should go out and get it if you have not or you didn't get the chance to. I think it's a great palette, and I think that it was worth the money it is. This is my first palette from Jeffree, so I'm very happy with it, and I hope you guys really like this review of the the palette and the look I created with it. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you love the look. If you guys want to see more reviews of makeup palettes, let me know in the comments down below, and what other videos you guys want to see. I will have some really fun videos coming up that are going to be a bit more blog style. And then yeah, so if you guys like the video, give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos from me in the future, which I will be getting to. I promise I won't be taking like a huge 5-month break. But yeah, so yeah, make sure you guys follow me on my social media to keep up with fun tutorials that I do and all that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and have a great rest of your day. Bye guys!